Welcome to another edition of Parenting Matters with McCracken. We're going to interrupt our regularly scheduled series that we've been going through to talk about 16 ways to help children become thoughtful, informed, and brave about race. We're not going to get through all 16 today. I'm not sure how many we'll get through. We're going to go through them in a rather cursory manner, but these are suggested by the organization Embrace Race, which is a lot about parenting and matters of race. And so we are going to talk today about how to help our children engage in awareness and understanding and interaction about racial issues and racial relationships. So, our children are always receiving messages about race from books, movies, TV, teachers, friends, neighbors, family members, peers, and even their parents. They learn from what we say and from what we do, and from what we don't say and from what we don't do. They notice patterns around race, and we want to be able to help them to think correctly about race. When they're reading books, which kids get to be the stars in their picture books? Who among their peers is considered beautiful or smart or upstanding? Which children do the teachers tend to scold? Who's invited home to dinner and who isn't? Which communities do we meet with care, attention, and resources? Which groups do we work with in the world? Who gets to be president? And as adults in the lives of children, we play a crucial role in shaping how and what they learn about race. So we're going to look at just a few suggestions. We're not going to talk in depth about any of them. But I am going to post a link to this PDF form if you want to take a look at it, or even go to the website and to get more information about Embrace Race. But number one, understand that children do notice difference. And that's not a bad thing. That's the way God made us. That's the way our brains work. Within months of birth, infants prefer same-race faces. Babies can distinguish skin colors and hair texture. This doesn't mean that they think about race the way adults do or that they are racist. It means they have begun to participate in the ongoing conversation about race. So be sure to involve yourself thoughtfully in that conversation with your children from a very young age. Secondly, make space for your child's respectful curiosity. Let your child know it's okay to notice skin color and talk about race, whether with respect to toys or characters in books or in the world. Encourage him or her to share thoughts, feelings, and experiences by asking questions and welcoming questions. If your child makes a negative racial comment, ask non-judgmentally or non-critically or non-scoldingly, what makes you say that? Number three, read books about different races. Expose your kids to books written by people of color about people of color. There may not be many out there, but there are some because we own some and we read them to our youngest child. Engaging kids with books that offer diverse and authentic racial and cultural representations and stories sends the message that we value diversity, and it opens up space to have great discussions about race and difference. Number four, use age-appropriate language. When talking about big concepts like discrimination, power, and oppression with young children, use language they understand. Even young children have a developed sense of what's fair and not fair. And that's a good place to start when talking about racial bias and inequality. And then fifthly, and I think we'll stop here today, talk about your own feelings. Whatever your racial or ethnic identity, you may have big or complicated feelings about race. Acknowledge that with your child and talk about where your anxiety may be coming from. Sharing, and again, in age-appropriate ways. And sometimes it doesn't have to include a lot of detail, but the fact that you're open to talking about it will help them be open to being a part of the conversation. Sharing your struggle will help your child feel free to share any discomfort about race they may have. Make the struggle to be part of the journey. And yeah, I think we'll stop there. And we'll continue this in the next episode of Parenting Matters with McCracken.